Hey guys, welcome back. Ducks Hockey and More is coming back at you. Look, we're going to be talking about the draft. I know I'm a little bit late in the game. People have been talking about it. It's been really busy at work, so there's my excuse. But we have to talk about the draft and the number 2 overall pick, Leo Carlson, and free agency started on July 1st. So we got to talk about that. Stick around. Thanks for tuning back into Ducks Hockey and More. Listen, real quick, if you haven't already subscribed, go down, subscribe, smash the like button, hit the bell notification so you know when Ducks Hockey and More is putting out those videos. I need your guys' help to blow this channel up. If you like Ducks Hockey and just NHL hockey content in general, you got to stick around to the end of this video and got to subscribe. Get on board, okay? So moving on, let's get into this, right? Leo Carlson, the number 2 overall pick. So there was a lot of speculation going into it. A lot of like, are the Ducks going to take Fantilli, which everybody kind of thought they would. Are they going to take Carlson? Then there were some rumors, are they going to trade down to get some players so other teams can come up into our position? That didn't happen. But the Pat Verbeek and the Ducks took Leo Carlson. Now look, this is between the two players, Fantilli and Carlson, they both have a lot of upside, a ton of it. I actually kind of like the Carlson pick. I really do. I know what Verbeek's thinking. It's a good pick in the sense that Carlson he's a big guy. He's been playing at the Swedish Hockey League level with adults. He's an amazing two-way center. Okay, and when you've got that kind of ability, and he's got good hands, good vision, good hockey IQ, this is a good pick for the future of Anaheim. Yeah, he may not put up the kind of numbers that Fantilli does, but that's okay. We have Zegras, right? We have Mason McTavish. We have other centers, and our depth now at the center position with Carlson, by adding Carlson, is actually really, really solid. So I like this pick by Verbeek and the Ducks. I really do. I think this is a good thing. I've seen and watched video of Carlson, and I suggest you guys go do the same, and you'll see what I mean. He's just going to get bigger and stronger. He's only 18. He's already 6'2". He's already 194 pounds. So this is going to be a guy that a lot of people have talked about could end up being the next Ryan Getzlaf type of player, okay, for Anaheim, which we all know how that worked out, which was a huge part of the Ducks' success for the last, over a decade, right? So, and if you think about the fact that he's going to get bigger and stronger, he's already 6'2", so he's probably maxed out in his height, but he's 194 pounds now. He'll be well over 200 pounds by the time he bulks out, and that's what we need. Okay, good pick by the Ducks, straight up. Moving on, okay? I've talked about it before in other videos. We knew we were going to get a good center in this year's draft. We did that. Now we are really, really good up through the middle at the center position. But where do we lack, right? Well, we lack some good, big physical defensemen, and we lack good scoring wingers. Well, we addressed that situation as I expected and hoped. They went out and got Nico Mijotovic. Okay, he was the first pick in the second round, 33rd overall. He's a left winger from the Western Hockey League, Seattle. And like I said before, a winger. We have to go out and get wingers, whether we trade for them, whether we draft them. We need good scoring wingers. We really only have Troy Terry in the system that can put up some decent numbers. We need more. We need at least 3 so that we can have 2 on the same line, 1 on another line. It just gives us more scoring depth on all 4 lines, basically, right? So Mijotovic is a good winger. He's described as an elite support player. So he makes those high-scoring other wingers and centers that he played for in Seattle look even better, right? And he has good hands himself, and he can put the puck in the net himself. So good pick by the Ducks. I like this kid a lot. Another one, Carey Terrence. Okay, he was the number 59 pick in the second round. He's a center, but he also plays the wing, and he actually likes to play the wing more. So if you can just kind of take the center part of it out of it, he can fill in, okay, as a center. But again, another winger. Okay, I've talked about this so much, how we need to do this, and we did. I have heard so many people, especially on Instagram, that think they know hockey so well and talk about these players that the Ducks should go after. And I'm like, I'm looking at this person and their stats aren't that great. They're young. They haven't proven themselves yet in the NHL. They're centers. And it's like, well, why would we want to go and get another center? We have the center depth we need, especially after this draft. We need good scoring wingers. Well, guess what? I was right. Okay. Some of these people, I swear, they think they know so much. And I'm not saying that I do, but it's pretty bloody obvious that at the center position is where we, with this draft, completely solidified our down the middle depth. We're good. We don't need to go anywhere else right now. We are good. We just need to develop what we've got, right? We needed wingers, and we went out and got a couple after we drafted Carlson. So I'm really excited about that. So Kerry Terrence, another good player. He's got good speed, good scoring ability, that kind of thing. Read about it on the website, the Ducks website. And then we went out and got a goaltender, okay, in the second round. He was 60th overall, Damian Clara. He's an Italian-born goaltender. Interesting, right? Italy's not known for hockey, but this guy is Italian born, but he's been playing in the Swedish junior leagues. Apparently, he's very good. He's been sought after, if you will, out of the goalies that the Ducks wanted to add to their depth and bring up. Okay, and it takes years. Goaltenders take a lot longer than any other player and position in hockey. So you bring them in young and you develop them. And so apparently he was highly touted by the Ducks organization and our goaltending coach. And so they grabbed him before somebody else did. So good for him. He is now going to be a Duck. Now there are several more that I'm not going to get into. Those were the top ones: the Carlson, Miodovic, Terrence, Damian Claras, and there's more. They added a couple more scoring type wingers in the third round, okay, that have speed and scoring ability. So we've really added to our scoring pipeline, and hopefully some of them will turn into really good NHLers. Now, let's move on to free agency. Free agency started July 1st, right? Interesting names showed up, right? There's still some out there, some highly touted free agents, but we went out and got Radko Gudas from Florida, signed him to a 3-year deal. Okay, this is a big, tough defenseman. He's a big stay-at-home guy that'll smash you, right? We've talked about it before in previous videos. We are missing that grit, that aggressiveness, that big, you don't want to play against the Ducks. When you do play against the Ducks, you gotta watch your back, right? So Radko Gudas brings that to the table. Good signing, okay? Good signing. Plus, he's a veteran blue liner that can smash you. We need that. And then Alex Killorn from Tampa. Here's a guy who's won 2 cups in Tampa. He had his best point production season last year as a 33-year-old. He's a winger, a left winger, another winger. We brought in a veteran winger. Great signing by Pat Verbeek. I love this. Signed him to a 4-year deal. So very excited about what they've done so far. They also added a defenseman in Hag. Will he be on the opening night roster is yet to be seen. I don't know. He probably will be. He's a veteran guy, and they signed him to a pretty good, cheap deal. So Kevin Shattenkirk, bye-bye. He signed in Boston. Very nice. Now, we didn't get anything for him. We lost him in free agency, but that's okay. He's gone. We don't have to worry about him. And then Maxime Comtois also was not offered a qualifying offer by the Anaheim Ducks, so therefore he is now a free agent and will end up somewhere else. But couple of really good free agent signings, I think, for Anaheim to get things going. We'll probably see a little bit more. I don't know how much more, but we might see a little bit more. There are still some players out there. The Alex DeBrincat, saga has still not, played itself out yet. In the DeBrincat thing, he's asking a lot. So it's like, do we really want to go out there and bring it? He is young. We know he can put the puck in the net. Is it worth bringing him in at the value that he is requesting? I don't know. I'm kind of debating whether or not I really want that now. In the beginning, I thought, that'd be great. He is injury prone. He's had some concussion issues over the years. And he's asking a lot, long term, like $9 million type of dollar, $8-9 million deal. So that's going to be rough. I don't know. Not sure about that one. But anyways, let's move on to some of the other things going on with the Anaheim Ducks, specifically the John Gibson scenario and this whole requesting a trade and all that. So I don't care what was said. I really don't. Whether he wants to play or not, I don't care. The John Gibson situation, as much as I like him as a goaltender, the Ducks would benefit from moving him to a team. Not only does John deserve to try to play for a contender and win a cup, but at the same time, too, we'll get something in return for him. A good, healthy return. John Gibson's a good goalie. We're going to get something good in return. Some of the teams that are interested that I'm reading about, the Edmonton Oilers, which are an interesting team because Jack Campbell, who they just recently signed to I think it was like a 4 or 5 year deal, it didn't meet the expectations that the Oilers were hoping. So you could almost even say bring Campbell to Anaheim, send Gibson to Edmonton. I'd take Campbell. I mean, it's not like he's the future, but he's good enough to put in there now, right? Him and Dostal might not be a bad combo. You never know. And maybe Jack Campbell plays pretty well for us. Who knows, right? But that's a potential landing spot for Gibson. The New Jersey Devils are another one. They are not sure about their goaltending tandem. They've just added Tyler Toffoli. I mean, they are a high-scoring and a very good defensive team. It's just the goaltenders that they have, Schmid and I think it was Blackwood. But are they Stanley Cup contending playoff caliber type goalies? Well, I don't know. That's the question, right? Gibson brings in that veteran experience and in my opinion, puts them over the top in the goaltending situation. It really does. Buffalo is the other team that's very close to being a playoff team. They almost made the playoffs, but really what were they missing? They were missing solid goaltending. Gibson would bring that. He totally would. Buffalo has their future goalie in Devin Levi, but bringing in John as a veteran presence to help guide him would be a good beneficial thing for Buffalo. So Buffalo sounds like a good place for John Gibson. And I've talked about Buffalo as a potential. I also talked about Ottawa being a potential, but Ottawa just signed Jonas Korpisalo. The Kings did not. He was a rental to the Kings when they got him at the trade deadline recently. So he is now in Ottawa. So Ottawa's off the table. But another team that I've read, and I'd hate to see this happen, is the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings kind of need something like a John Gibson or a veteran presence back there in net to help them, kind of like the Buffalo situation, a little bit kind of like the New Jersey situation, right? Do the Ducks want to trade a John Gibson to the rival that's only a 20 some odd miles down the highway? I don't think so. I would hate to see John Gibson in a Kings uniform. So that for me is off the table, but they are a potential landing spot for him just because of what they need and that kind of thing. So interesting stuff. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it even happens in this offseason. If it doesn't, John Gibson's going to be in net for the Anaheim Ducks come the start in October. So Max Comtois, I mentioned it before, not offered a qualifying offer, so he is gone. Somebody will sign him. We'll see who. Vancouver's been rumored to be interested in Max Comtois, but he could go anywhere, really. Troy Terry There are several players that are restricted free agents. Zegras, Drysdale, Terry, Dostal. And Troy Terry, basically being an RFA, they've been in contract negotiations, but it's going to go to arbitration, which basically just means that the two sides have not agreed. Therefore, a third party is going to come in and decide what the price will be for Terry, and it'll probably be somewhere in the middle between what Terry's and his people want, his agent, and the Anaheim Ducks. So we'll see what that ends up being. I have no doubt he will become an Anaheim Duck. The problem, though, with arbitration is will it be long term? Usually arbitration, they decide on a number and it ends up being a shorter term contract, which is kind of concerning, right? So we'll see. But Troy Terry going to arbitration, interesting stuff. We still have work to do, guys. Pat Verbeek does, that's it. Zegras, Drysdale, and Dostal still need to get contracts. And it'll be interesting to see, are there any other free agents out there that Pat Verbeek's eyeballing and wants to bring in? Gudas and Killorn bring that veteran's presence not only to the blue line, but also to the forward group. And I like those two signings. And we got to we've got to get our RFAs re-signed, right? And they're going to take up some money, okay? And we've got a lot. What else is he going to do? Is he going to do anything else? Or just kind of like last offseason, he brought in Strome and Vetrano, right? A couple of veteran guys. And then he added Klingberg late, which we knew was going to be, he was going to get tossed and turned around. But just kind of like last year where we just got, so we'll see. He might just stop right there and continue to ride the young players that we have coming up through the system. Here's an interesting stuff too. Defensively, right? And I'm going to make a whole video just regarding our defense. But defensively, we added Gudas, right? We also added Robert Hagg. So probably those two are going to be in the lineup. You're only going to have 6, right, on your starting lineups. 3 different pairs. So here's a potential defensive, not pairings, but the defense that we will start our year off with. Gudas, probably Robert Hagg. Then you come down to Fowler and Drysdale. Okay. So there's 4. I would think that Urho Vakanainen would be part of that. He's got the experience. I do like him, and I like his play. Calm, cool, collected. I like him. And then it kind of becomes, Hellison, Jackson Lacombe, right? I love Jackson Lacombe, okay, in this situation. I really like him. What I saw from him late last year when they threw him in there at the end, he looked really good to me, okay? So to me, Lacombe is a lock for making that roster. So Gudas, Urho Vakanainen, which is a question mark, Cam Fowler, Drysdale, Lacombe, and Hagg. Now, that leaves, right, the young guys down in San Diego. Tyson Hines, Olin Zellweger, and Pavel Minchikov, and even Drew Hellison. Those guys will probably be spending some time in San Diego developing and getting better. We might see a little bit of them if there are some injuries. There'll be call-ups. But those guys will probably be in San Diego getting better and developing and that kind of thing. Remember, we got a new coach down there. Okay, McIlvain, great coach, good with young developing players, just like Greg Cronin up in the NHL at the Anaheim level now, good at bringing young talented players through, developing them. So this is going to be an interesting team this coming season. I think based on the additions. I really like what I see. I said the same thing last year going into the season, but I really like what I see this year a lot. So long story short, this is going to be a fun year. The free agency's time period still isn't over yet, so we'll see what happens. The Gibson whole thing isn't over yet. We'll see what happens. We might have a new goaltender. So who knows? But hey, that's what I got for you guys right now. Thanks for watching. As always, Ducks Hockey and More is very excited about the future. and I will be coming at you with all kinds of stuff as often as I can. I know I'm a little bit late in this one. Work's been hectic and super busy, but go down, subscribe, guys. Help me blow this channel up, okay? I need your help to do it. Let's get to 300 and then keep pushing hard. Go down and smash the like button and throw me some comments, guys. Tell me what you guys think of not only what I've discussed, but maybe you guys have differing opinions than I do. I'm sure you do. So let me know what you think so we can talk about it. So thanks for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.